Good morning from Breckenridge, Colorado. This week's Torah portion, Mishpatim, has many civil laws. And one of the laws says that if someone steals money or vessels from his fellow man and the thief is caught, the penalty is that he has to pay a double payment. Simply stated, the Torah is saying is that not only does the thief have to return what he stole, but as a penalty he has to pay double to compensate the victim for the loss and the theft and to penalize the thief, so he should learn never to steal again. However, every Torah law has a psychological and a moral lesson as well. And our rabbis teach us that this law applies to every single individual, because every human being is created with a godly, divine, lofty spiritual soul. But at the same time, God created every person with a destructive impulse, which is known as the yetzahara, the urge for negativity. And this yetzahara, this evil, destructive force within man, is like the thief within the person. This destructive urge robs the person of his moral dignity and righteousness. So, for example, many times it causes the person to have negative feelings of jealousy or hatred, or it causes the lips to speak words of lashon hara, gossip, and as a result, it robs the person of their heart's true function. It kidnaps and sabotages a part of our heart and our soul and our mind and our lips, and sometimes even engages the person in sin, thereby robbing the person of the potential to do good and causing them to do things that are contrary to their true divine nature. So there are two approaches. Some people, when they confront that negative impulse, they say, listen, there's nothing I can do. This is my deeper nature. I just have to surrender and give in to my negative desires, impulses, and urges. Then there are others who become filled with guilt and remorse and sadness and depression over their negative behaviors. But what is the Torah's approach? When we all, on one level or another, experience the robber, the thief within, who robs us of our true potential and greatness, says the Torah, confront him. Confront your negative, destructive urge of yetzahara and demand a double payment. By taking the yetzahara and confronting it and going through the process of teshuvah, which is often known as repentance, but it's a form of psychological, spiritual, and moral recovery from your negative behavior, you will discover a double measure of reward. You will find a deeper and closer relationship with God and uncover a depth of your soul that you did not even know you possessed before. As the Talmud says that there are certain levels of teshuvah that actually transform the past negative deeds into righteous merits, because it is through those negative behaviors that you uncovered a part of your soul and your relationship with yourself and with God and with others that could have never been achieved without that negative experience. Last week in Colleyville, Texas, a terrorist, a jihadist, came into a synagogue and held a rabbi and 3 congregants hostage for close to 12 hours. And this anti-Semitic incident, it was very troubling and traumatizing for the Jewish people everywhere. But could you imagine the rabbi and the 3 congregants who had to sit through 12 hours of a madman with a gun who had no fear of dying and, God forbid, taking innocent lives with him? Thank God it ended miraculously, where the rabbi in the last moment took a chair and threw it at the terrorist and told everyone to escape, and they all escaped safely and the terrorist was killed. This rabbi, Rabbi Charlie Cytron Walker, is now an international hero. He showed everyone how to remain calm, cool, and collected, and to maintain emotional and psychological and mental presence of mind to get through such a traumatic ordeal that lasted close to 12 hours. But what's fascinating is that this rabbi was actually fired by his congregation just a few months ago. The board of directors told him they don't want him anymore. After 16 years, they said, we need a new spark in the congregation. And the members said to the rabbi, Rabbi, bring it to a congregational vote, because if you bring it to a congregational vote, it will pass that we love you, we want you to continue as the rabbi. But this rabbi, Charlie Cytron Walker, said to his congregants, I don't want to create the dispute and animosity in the congregation. I don't want to create a rift. I want to go peacefully, and I want to work with the board of directors to find a new rabbi. Well, could you imagine how foolish the board of directors feels now when they realize how great, what an amazing person their rabbi is? They must be begging him now to stay on as their rabbi. But unfortunately, they did not see his true greatness and dismissed him. And only now they realize what he contains within himself. The ability to rise above something so traumatic and life-threatening. And that is true with every human being. We have layers of depth. Sometimes they come to the forefront, sometimes they don't. But it's sometimes precisely when there's a thief, when there's a robber, when someone tries to kidnap a part of you, your evil inclination, your negative urges, and your destructive inclination tries to kidnap a part of your soul and use it for its own negative purposes. It is only when we overcome that we realize our true greatness and potential, and we extract a double measure of blessing and reward. Have a wonderful day.